Hey everybody, welcome to Shibuya. This is Hachiko Scramble, one of the craziest intersections in all the world. You got 45 seconds to cross from one side of the street to the other. And in this adventure, I'm going to take you, not here, but back to Shibuya Station. And in this episode, we're going to go from here to Harajuku in 8K. Welcome! This is gonna be a lot of fun. So buckle in for the next 25-30 minutes. I'm gonna get on the train, head to Harajuku. I asked all of you to vote, where would you like to go in this 8K live stream? And just about everybody said, I don't know, Harajuku. At least 33% of you said Harajuku and Omotesando. So that's where I'm taking you. So this is the Hachiko Entrance. It is quite crowded. This is October 16th, 2021. So in we go. So this is the direction to get to Harajuku, and it's about a 5-minute train ride to get there. The Yamanote Line leaving every, 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes even more frequently. I like how everybody's pretty orderly, walking down on the right side and up on the left side. We're gonna ride in the front car and hopefully get a chance to see the train. It is quite crowded on the platform. It is a weekend, so not the ideal time to be traveling in these peak areas, but everybody wanted to see Harajuku and Montesando. That's where we're going. I like how sometimes in the corner of the stations you'll find these vending machines. Sometimes some unique snacks in there. Here's looks like a bakery. Cool, so maybe we'll get a nice view from the front. Wow. So we're leaving Shibuya Station on the way to Harajuku Omotesando for a 25-minute walk. Oh, you can see Shinjuku in the distance too. There's a Docomo Tower. Right, before I go and look out the window here, I want to show you Hachiko Scramble from the train. So we're going to go right past it. It's kind of a unique view. There it is right there. We're just there. And now it's gone. I started to play a game on Nintendo Switch called Densha de Go. It gives you the chance to drive the Yamanote Line around, and when you look at the tracks here, they look pretty similar to the game. I might have to do that on Twitch.
This is a Yamanote Line train stop for Shinjuku and Ikebukuro. The next station is Harajuku. JY 19. The doors on the left side will open.
All right, we are
Please
here.
change your for the Chiyoda subway line and the Futoshi subway line.
There's the platform. All right. Nobody's getting off here, so I can take a second to just walk towards the exit. Very cool to get a chance to take the train in 8K. You know, a lot of people have been asking me, what's the actual purpose of the 8K anyways? I don't think if you have an 8K TV, you'll really notice a difference, but it does make for a lot clearer 4K. And look, if you want to, you can watch it in 144p anyways. It's up to you. You can watch it in HD, you can watch it in 4K, you can watch it in 8K. So this station has changed quite a bit over the years, and I actually feel somewhat disoriented. It was so much smaller before, very easy to get in and out, and now I guess there's Takeshita Street across the way there. We're heading down there right now. But I want to take you through Harajuku Station, so let's get going.
Thank you for riding with JR East. The next departure from track number 2 will be the 12:43 p.m. train bound for Shinjuku and Ikebukuro.
So we're going to be exiting from the new entrance and then walking back around towards Takeshita Street. Not as crowded here as it is in Shibuya. I was pretty surprised by that. All right, this is what used to be the old exit. You could cross over into the old building, but that's been torn down. You can see it used to be right there, and now it's gone. So you're gonna exit through the new Harajuku building, but the drawbridge, I shouldn't say drawbridge, the bridge cutting across looks like the original, the old one that's just been fortified. It is sad to see, though, the old station gone. Some good memories. Built in the early 20th century. It was just not used to accommodating this many people. But the new station's really nice. There's some restaurants, a couple of cafes. On the weekend, we might be able to see some people dressed in goth and other outfits that are unique. It's still a youth hub here, but it's not quite the same as it was about 10, 15 years ago. I see less and less of that. It just seems like this area has become more commercialized. So I don't know where the other people have gone. I don't know, the subculture is a lot richer, a lot more diverse, a lot more fun many years ago. All right, here we are. Harajuku, we're gonna be heading towards Takeshita Street. I'll cross the street from that area. On the left side is where the station, the old station entrance used to be. Now it's being renovated. They're gonna rebuild it in the way it used to look, but it won't be quite the same. That's what, they have a picture here of the old station and they're gonna redo it, but I don't think there's a set timeline. By the time you come here, you might see it being put up though. This is a new tower. I've shown it on live streams, but you're seeing it in 8K for the first time. I'm guessing those might even be apartments. I'm not sure. But there are some pretty nice restaurants in there, and there's a IKEA or IKEA. We say IKEA in Japanese, and a Uniqlo in there, and a couple of other pretty premium looking shops. Walking down the hill here. I'm sure for a lot of you, you've walked down this route before as well, just following in your footsteps. Personally though, if you ask me, I would, like, do you take the Yamanote Line around? I almost never do what I just did. I will always walk it. It's about a 20-minute walk, and will take you past the Tower Records and around the curve there. You get to see so many different shops between Shibuya and Harajuku, so I encourage you to walk it, but it's so much more dramatic to take it by train for this video, so that's one reason why I kind of hopped on the train, just for dramatic impact. All right, we are a minute away from crossing over into the much beloved by you, Takeshita Street, and much maligned by me, Takeshita Street, or Takeshita Dori. It's just too crowded, and it's lost its identity of what it used to be. It's just not the same. But it doesn't mean that you should not go there. I'm gonna be honest with you how I feel. For me, there's a lot better places in Tokyo now. This is just, it used to be a hub for where satellite shops, fashion satellite shops, would be set up here to test out new fashion. And you'd see some of the most cutting edge in fashion. I don't know, in youth fashion, you'd see a lot of really neat stuff, and now you don't see that anymore. Because there's like lots of chain shops here. This is pretty interesting. I'm not talking about the street here. I'll give you another look in a second, but if I pan around to the left side, it looks like the Mario Karts are here, but in a different way. Cool. Guess they're not allowed to wear the Mario stuff anymore, huh? Takeshita Street. Let's get deep into there. Cha. So we're going deep into the heart of the dragon. I don't like this place. It's too clean now. It's too, I don't know, commercial. It was so rough behind the edges here. The Tsukimi burger is now available at McDonald's. That's one where the Harvest Moon is on there. That they've had this, wow, since as long as I've been at McDonald's, a really unique burger with a egg on there, the yolk representing the Harvest Moon of October, and it's gone probably in a week from now. This big camera used to be like the Daiso, I guess. Now Daiso split it into two. You have big camera and Daiso. I think they cut it in half, right? Yeah, the Daiso used to be a little bit bigger. This Purikura shop is still here. I believe this is one where men can't enter alone. You have to come with a girl, which shows that you're not going to be stalking other girls. There's some rules to that. Just so you know, if you're a single dude traveling here, you might not know the rules. And just so you know, some words are irrelevant information. A buddy of mine opened up a wine bar here about 10 years ago, went out of business after a year, but he told me he noticed one thing deep in there. There were a lot of AV, adult video stars. Apparently there's a couple of studios in there, so you might see some really interesting things happening if you look closely, which you don't have to. I think some of you might though now. It's all right. It's all right. I get it. It's hard to tell though, because you know, in this area, there's so many models, so many beautiful people walking the streets. Down here is one of Peter's favorite beer places, Baird's Beard. They have a pub up here where they make their own beer and sell it up in there. It's just hard to get in there, and sometimes they're kind of not polite with the seating arrangements in there. I don't know, maybe that staff person's gone. Street food. So you do have all sorts of sandwiches here. Wow, they made one out of a cat. That's pretty cool. Check it out. Interesting. You find all sorts of really neat stuff here, trendy stuff. Here today, gone tomorrow. AC/DC Rags is behind me. I went past there. There's a food truck. It seems like some people are eating that. That Taiwanese chicken has become quite popular. There's one in Asakusa that Eric Surf 6 and I ate. I guess there's a strawberry place, and up there is the cotton candy place that's as big as your head. I don't know, I think some of you might have seen that on social media. I don't see anybody eating that out here. Oh, right there, they've got the big cotton candy, the big Taiwanese flat chicken. It's really good. It's just got a unique taste that's not Japanese that Eric and I both picked up on. We thought it was Korean at first, but under deeper inspection, found that it was indeed a Taiwanese chain. And our neighbors down to the south, we miss them visiting. You can tell, certainly there's not as many foreign tourists. Here's a map of Takeshita Street. It's always evolving, and apparently there'll be another big chain shop opening up right here. From JR Station, it's not a really far walk down Takeshita Street. We're right in the middle of it, just a little bit more to go. Just the evolution of it over the last 5 years has been, for me as somebody living here for so long, just sad. But if you're visiting Tokyo for the first time, it might be something that you're interested in. There's another AC/DC rag shop. I'll just kind of pop over here for a second to say hey. Give them a shout out. They were one of the only shops that allowed me to film here in 2013 to make a little Harajuku fashion episode. Certainly one of the places that innovated this pop fashion for Harajuku back in the 1980s. And I talked with the designer of this, and it's so unique to see that. I'm so happy that they're still here, but you will notice when I take you in a little bit further, they did sell, and there's some alleys here that are pretty interesting to explore, but they did sell a little sub shop that they had in the front of the street near Omotesando. Unfortunately, zoning and all this other stuff, but they kept it going and refused to sell for quite a long time, and made quite a splash with that. I'm glad that they did, because I don't think they should have moved. I think maybe they had to. I should call them. I'm still in contact, right, once a year. Not everything is on the first floor. I'm gonna pan up over here, and you'll see you do have some very famous Body Line, which has been here for ages, that second floor shop. They don't allow filming. I tried to get a permission to film in there, but they don't let me go in there. And then this shop here on the first floor, I forget what it's called, but they also would not allow me to film. But you'll see the Santa Monica crepe shops all over the place. And they have thousands, it seems like thousands, but hundreds of crepes, sometimes going into the weird. I think there's one with bacon and tuna. Yeah, there's some tuna fish and some chicken, and there's some bacon right here. That's pretty weird. All right, let's keep going. Wow, there's another building right here in the corner that's down. I wonder what that's gonna be. A lot of these places say don't film. Like, I don't understand why you'd want to be filmed. I think maybe people are are taking the wrong approach. I understand that, though. I mean, privacy is very important here in Japan, and we take it seriously, but I think it's pretty good promotion to do that. Here's a t-shirt shop selling strange t-shirts in katakana. Gives me an idea for the Only in Japan merch store. Well, and there's some masks here. Sign of the times. This used to be where the Sankyu Mart was. There's some t-shirts up there. That's gone. This building, I don't think is going to be here for much longer. There's already a sign here. And the Thank You Mart, where I bought some of my fashion, used to be down here in the basement, and that's gone. Kind of sad to see that probably this gets demolished and we get another chain shop here. Those glasses look familiar. I think I got something like that before. So many places are gone. I don't recognize it. There was a place where I got the colored contact lenses. That's gone. This whole complex, I'm gonna swing over now to the other side of the street and pan up. I wanna just show you. It just seems like these really big window places. This is Florida. I mean, it's kind of cool to see that, but I don't know. What was here in its place? Does anybody remember? And this Sweets Paradise, this building here with a food court inside, that's been here for a few years now, Solado. But yeah, I miss the old places though. I think this is like a, I don't know what it was. It's been a while. They're playing J-pop in the background. Probably not the best for the copyright issues that come along with it. So just got to be careful and talk over the speaker when they do it. So that's probably why I might be speaking more than usual. All right, Lotteria always has some weird burgers here. I don't know what this is, but there's the top of it is seaweed and the bottom of it is rice. So there's some pretty weird stuff going on at Lotteria, but I gotta appreciate that. You have to be inventive when it comes to the burger industry or any food industry here in Japan. Here's a kaiten sushi shop down in the basement, Sushi Go Round. That was not here a few years ago, and now we have a green light to cross the street. This is where the AC/DC Rags had a little satellite shop here where they sold some of the fashion, but I think it was more like a mark on the old versus the new. And I'm gonna cross the street and look back on the Takeshita Street before we march into Omotesando. Yeah, right there on the corner. That's where it was. And every time I walk by here, I'm still shocked that it's not there. They really held out a long time. You can walk to Shinjuku if you keep going in this direction. And then in this direction, we'll take you to the intersection of Montesando. We're going to do that right now. But I want to encourage you, after you cross Takeshita Street, keep going this way. Over here, and you're gonna find a lot of shops and a different vibe to it that's a little bit cooler. I think a lot of the satellite shops for fashion might have gone in this direction after like the Disney store and a bunch of other places bought out property inside of the Takeshita Street. Again, I'm not a big fan of Takeshita Street, but I think you should still come here for a visit. So we're gonna go to the intersection where they have torn down. Wow! I see the intersection is really under attack by change. it's so, I don't know, I see too much sky. It used to be a place, there used to be another building there. There's some cranes now doing some sort of construction. Again, like, I don't know, it just feels generic with all these brands coming in here. I wish they gave more entrepreneurs a chance. Not that there's anything wrong with it, I guess, in the sense that maybe that's what people want. Not everything is the way I want it to be, but for somebody who is also a small business owner here in Japan, I don't think I want the world to become one big chain shop. Just kind of sad. Let's keep it positive. Anything can happen. It could change from this. Maybe these chains go away and local shops pop up. I don't know. So I just know that if Japan is going to be an innovator in coming up, they're going to have to innovate in different ways, and that means geez, no. Gonna have to do the audio separately. Here's the intersection that is under attack. I'm gonna pan now over to the right side, and you can see there's a big space right there. That's gonna be something built there. I'm not quite sure. But by the time tourism starts, maybe you'll have a better idea. There'll be something there. This way will take you up to Yoyogi Park in this direction. But we're gonna swing this way now. Up here is the Tokyo Plaza, a really famous place for Instagrammers, at least in the first couple of years with the mirrors. You always got a really unique view. Looking at the city of Tokyo with the mirrors around it, kind of reflecting around. But the site that you come down to is a little bit different now. It used to be Condomania, I believe. A couple other shops there, gone. All right, welcome to Omotesando from the Harajuku entrance. This is the Meiji, the Chodo line. Hold on, here's a map over here. You can see Omotesando Station is 500 meters away. But if you take the Chodo line, there's the Meiji Jingumai Station, which is essentially, let's see if I can get the brightness up a little bit. This is essentially the Harajuku Station, okay? For metro. You never really said Harajuku in the past, but they added that in parentheses because tourists would feel lost without Harajuku being there. That would be Metro's Harajuku Station. It's still quite a walk to get to Harajuku Station if you exit the metro there. JR is always a better option to get into Harajuku, or just walk it. I do think Japan, Tokyo in general, is a very walkable city. Places on the map, they're not as far as you think it is. Sometimes it's faster to just walk than it is to jump on a subway for 2 stops. By the time you get down there and wait for the train and then get out of the station, you probably would have been there if you'd started walking. My friends at Tokyo Cheapo have a website, a page on that. They measured the walking times between the stations so that you can get a better idea whether or not you should walk or if you should take the train. At Christmas time, this is such a beautiful place to be. You see the lights are already on the trees here. These champagne-colored lights. They call this avenue the Champs-Élysées of Japan, of Asia maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna take you down in this direction for a second. First, I wanna walk up here, give you a view of the street from above. There's the Ralph Lauren there. These side streets, I think in another 8K stream, I will do just the side streets of Omotesando. I think that's a pretty good idea. Very beautiful avenue. All right, let's get over to Omotesando Station. I don't want to drag this out too long. On the left side of your screen is Omotesando Hills, which came in around 10, 12 years ago. It's been a while now. I don't know anybody that's ever bought anything inside of there except for a drink or use the restroom. It's just kind of these really pricey shops that I don't know who goes in and buys this stuff. It's not me. But behind me, you will find, behind me, just about 30 meters back, no, about 50, 100 meters back there, Cat Street starts. So you could go in here and connect up to it. That street will take you to Shibuya through a really quiet, interesting street. Lots of shops that you're going to find. Don't take this street. This doesn't connect this direction. It only goes to the left. Trust me, make sure you have Google Maps or some navigation app or at least a map, because if you go in there and you go in there to explore, there's a good chance you can't make it out. It's hard to find your way around. Goku Burger on the right. Omotesando Hills, main entrance on the left. You can hear the subway underground. Oh. It says pizza. 5 letters that when I instantly see, I see instantly, no matter where they are located. My eyes are drawn to Pizza. Now, over here on the left side, there used to be a Ben & Jerry's shop that's gone. And they would give out free ice cream on certain days. I miss that. The direction of Tokyo was getting interesting before the Olympics, before the pandemic. So many of these chain shops wanted to catch that Olympic buzz, and they started to come in here. Here's a Louis Vuitton. You see some massive shops that do sales to that 1%. The Tokyo Union Church has been here for a long time and has quite a nice piece of property on this street. Historically, if you didn't have property here, there's no way you could afford it now. It's just so pricey. Even an apartment, 1-room apartment in the back costs, I don't know, like $1,800 to $2,000 a month. 1 room. On the other side of the street, behind Omotesando Hills, you'll find the Niigata store, where you can get some pretty good sake. Niigata Prefecture, home to some of my favorite brands, including Hokusetsu, which is in Sado Island. That's Robert De Niro's backed brand there. He makes a trip there every now and then because he knows the CEO. And if you ever want to see Robert De Niro totally smashed and some of the funniest pictures ever of the actor, they're there inside the brewery tour. Hokusetsu is really good stuff. The umeshu that they have is kind of pricey, but really, really, you'll never taste anything like it. In the sake, wow. Again, pricey, about 5,000 yen or $50 for 720 milliliters. But it's for every now and then, it's worth it. All right, in the corner there is the Apple Store, doing roaring business after the iPhone 13 launch, but you're not allowed in there unless you have an appointment. We do not. Nobody's crossing, it's a red light. There we go. And that's the end of the trip. Right here, we have arrived at the entrance to Omotesando Station. Hope you enjoyed this. Leave me a comment below. Thanks for watching and join me on an 8K walk. Let me know where you want me to go next.